In a world full of chaos and destruction, four men are setting out to bring you the most important, nonsensical information that you didn't know you needed to know. Welcome to Essentially Nonsense. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Essentially Nonsense. I'm here with Josh Myers.
Nope.
Blake Williams. And as always, David Magda.
Hello.
Today, what we're going to talk about is something that I think everyone has missed because of the whole COVID thing, and that is UFOs. Because the United States government has come out and said they have seen unexplained aerial phenomena. They don't call them UFOs for whatever reason, but
that causes panic.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like no one even knows what's going on.
Maybe that's
nope,
their
I
plan.
100% think this is supposed to be like down low. Corona's supposed to cover it up, and they're like, we're going to release some information real quick.
Yep, just dump. But Magna has some more info on it. I just watched the video. I don't know if you guys seen the video of it.
Tom DeLonge?
No.
Tom DeLonge, former singer of Blink 182, or still current. He is America's hero right now.
It's all the small things, you know.
Oh, I see what you did.
Blink 182. Okay, anyways, Magda, do you have some more information on what's going on with what the U.S. government actually released and what they're saying about it?
I mean, literally, all they released were 3 clips. One was from 2004, and 2 were from 2015. And the DoD says, we have no fucking idea what these are. Right? I mean, they had a program that investigated UFOs, but they cut it recently. And then that's when the company To the Stars Academy popped up. Which, honestly, it's kind of, they have crazy people. So, their co-founders are Tom DeLonge. Is that DeLonge or DeLonge? DeLonge. Jesus, I'm too young for this. From Blink 182 and Dr. Hal.
Damn it, guys.
What?
Damn it. From their 1997 album Dude Ranch.
Good song.
What is this
I think
guy
you're the
talking
only
about?
one who
Who
knows
is this?
their album.
Who invited him? Alright, so their other co-founder has over 50 years of experience in places like the NSA, Stanford, and GE. And he's also an advisor to the Department of Defense and NASA. Alright? Except, this company was formed in 2017. That's brand new. That's actually after these clips. So, the DoD cuts their program, this company appears, then these clips appear at the DoD saying, we have no idea. So, it's my theory that they were never actually going to release these clips, right? They were just going to let them slide under the radar until this company said, whoa, what the fuck are y'all doing? And now we've got these 3 clips. Pilots are freaking out over them. One of them, the UFO was rotating, apparently. Because the guy's sitting there shouting.
I watched that one.
I mean, that's really all the background there is. But, I mean, just because the DoD doesn't know what they are, doesn't mean nobody knows what they are. It's just nobody's stepping up.
Why would the government not hide this? I mean, they could still cover this up if they really wanted to. They've done it before.
There's no reason to. I mean, the stuff was already leaked before they officially announced it.
I mean, I'm sure stuff had been leaked in the past. Maybe not so much for the UFO, just other.
Well, I think
stuff
these exact clips were
out.
leaked. Is what the problem is.
I still haven't even seen the video yet, honestly.
They were probably leaked, just covered up, and like no one knew.
Yeah, I briefly read one of the articles, and they were saying like it was basically like they had been out already, and the government hadn't explained like what it was or anything, and so then they sort of just released it like it's a re-release or something. I don't know.
Still no explanation.
Do you think they're just on their way to the rock show, which was part of 2001's "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" album?
Oh my god, are you just gonna put an album throughout the whole?
Of course not. This is a serious thing.
I know one song. How do you know more?
I know everything there is to know about Blink-182.
Like what?
Like, I will always remember you.
Oh, will you? All right. How old
From
is
the
Tom DeLonge?
2003s. Well, Tom DeLonge's age varies.
He's the alien.
Varies, depending on the year.
He's 44 years old. I know that.
According to this
You
year.
furiously Googled it,
I did not. He was born December.
I don't think Josh can type that
1975.
fast, to be fair.
Yeah, he
All
definitely
right,
can't
so
type that fast.
I want to hear right off before I go into these other things where government has covered up just freaky deaky type shit. Off the top, do you guys believe in aliens? And do you believe there's something out there that
100%.
obviously?
There are definitely aliens out there because there's what, like a billion kajillion different galaxies out there. Like, there's got to be aliens somewhere. We're not the only phenomenon that's happened where there's life.
I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but yeah, with all the existence out there, all planets, it's hard to say there isn't something else.
Have
all
you
these
guys heard
stories
of
of
the
people being
Fermi
abducted.
paradox?
No.
All right, let me read this to you. So the Fermi paradox can be stated more completely as follows. The size and age of the universe incline us to believe that many technologically advanced civilizations must exist, which is what Blake said. However, this belief seems logically inconsistent with our lack of observational evidence to support it. Either 1, the initial assumption is incorrect and technologically advanced intelligent life is much rarer than we believe, or 2, our current observations are incomplete and we have simply not detected them yet, or 3, our search methodologies are flawed and we are not searching for the correct indicators, or 4, it is the nature of intelligent life to destroy itself.
Ooh.
That's deep.
I
like the
or
last
5. We have cited things and our government decided not to tell us.
Maybe. That's true. But, I mean, look at where the human race is going. We're fucking ourselves in the ass right now.
Oh, yeah. Biting bats gets you COVID. Sometimes it makes you wonder, what's my age again? From the 1999 album, Enema of the State.
Okay. Let's actually look at the third point, where it says our search methodologies are flawed. So, where I worked this summer, this guy named Frank Drake came in. And he is the guy who basically founded SETI, which is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And he also has the Drake equation named after him, which is the number of transmitting civilizations in our galaxy. Right? So this guy sat down, came up with this whole equation to figure out how many there were. Obviously, they don't actually know how many, but they know how to figure it out, given some parameters. And SETI uses a bunch of different telescopes, radio telescopes, not observational ones, to look for alien civilizations. And they've got this program going on now called Breakthrough Listen, which I believe uses some of the Green Banks telescopes. And they have $100 million just looking for extraterrestrial signals. Intelligent ones, that is, not random ones.
$180 million.
100 million.
Okay. 100. I mean, still.
100 million, yep.
I mean,
who gives
I don't want to be the one to say that's a waste of money, per se. But I'm going to be the hero and say I don't think that is worth $100 million. I mean, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We just oh, hey, there's something out there. Cool. Do you think the government's going to tell us?
What's the problem lies that if you spend $100 million a year and you find nothing, but you spend $100 million a year and you find something, and then if that something ended up being a threat to global security, then it's money well spent. But at the same time, if you look and you don't find anything, you're technically doing what you should.
I mean, sure, but you talk about terms of global security. If there's something out there flying around in a flying saucer around the planet, nothing short of a nuclear missile is going to do anything against these aliens we're fucked, right? Might as well just make
I
peace with
mean,
them.
that's true. I mean, they've already got the technology for at least warp drives.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, why fight, man?
The
Just,
thing is,
bend
what
over
do
and
we
accept it, I
even,
guess.
what do we know? I mean, a nuke might not kill an alien. You don't know.
I mean, that's the best thing we got against them.
That's a fact. Like,
That's going to destroy everything we got, but hey, that's the American way. We're taking a couple of them fuckers out with us.
Just
Boom.
like Independence Day.
Hell yeah. Welcome to Earth.
what if they were created from nuclear waste? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a thought.
I don't know.
What if they
It's a
heal them?
thought.
Fucking cockroaches.
Twinkies.
Facts.
Twinkies?
Everybody
Cockroaches and
knows
pink
Twinkies
Twinkies.
survived the nuclear apocalypse. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Is that
true.
real?
Yeah.
Twinkies and cockroaches. Huh?
Yep.
Mhm.
They said it in movies.
Yeah, it has to be real.
Yeah.
Is that real? I don't know if that's real.
It's in movies.
It's real.
Google it.
It's in Zombieland, so it's got to be real.
I mean, yeah.
Rule number 32: enjoy the little things, right?
How the fuck do you know that?
Zombieland.
So
Yep.
I did Google
I'm
it.
taking it. I don't know.
You guys want to hear my answer from Google?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Twinkies aren't alive, so they can't be killed by radiation.
Perfect.
Facts.
See? I knew it.
See?
Guess I'm wrong.
It's weird though, because it's like a sponge. You would think it could absorb radiation, right?
It's like any
No?
food could absorb radiation. Maybe besides like canned food.
I don't know.
To answer your question, Nick, I absolutely believe there are aliens. I'm on the same page as Blake over here. The universe is just too
Mhm.
damn big.
I feel like it's, as far as like just thinking about it, like mathematically, the percent
Yeah.
chance that there is nothing in this vast existence of, galaxies and galaxies, it seems much smaller than that there would be something else out there.
I feel like there's like a 99% chance there is something.
Yeah. But I feel like that there is something too. Like, we don't know what we're looking for. We know what, like, if there's something like us to look for, but we don't know what they're doing.
I was gonna say, what if it's not so much like a big green, black-eyed alien that you're used to, and like maybe I don't know, some kind of like plant growing on some planet? Would you consider that an alien being? If that makes sense.
Only if it says I am Groot.
Fair enough.
Facts.
I mean, I
Well,
think we would have to consider that alien life. I mean, we
Yeah,
consider like
technically.
little bacteria aliens.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if you wanted to go based off that, then I would say 100% there's alien life out there.
But intelligent alien life.
Who
I don't
knows? Well, we can get into the first thing that I had on the docket, if you guys want. So it's called Rendlesham Forest. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I
Yeah.
know of it. It's been a while since I've read stuff about it.
Yeah, it was in England in 1980 in December. And it's a United States Air Force base, and it's in Rendlesham Forest. And so what it began with is there were lights descending in the forest on the base at like 3 a.m., and they saw it, and they thought it was like a downed aircraft at first. But what they actually, when they went towards it, they saw like a shiny object with colored lights. And as they approached it, the neighboring farm that is, I guess, right next to this base, the animals started going nuts. And then when they got even closer, it flew off like miles away in what seemingly was no time at all. And they were just like, way off in the distance. And what makes it interesting is that there are like actual governmental memos where there are people saying this is an incident, this incident was happened, and that they thought it was extraterrestrial visitors.
What the fuck? When
So-
was this?
It was in 1980 in December. So that was the first thing. There was a second thing that happened. And so in the first thing, they went out on the next day, and they went out there to see, like in the daylight, to see what the hell, is out there, if there's any evidence. And so what they saw is there's just 3 little triangular, like pads, basically, where, like the ship would land type of thing. And then the bushes and the tree branches were all like broken and burnt all around through there. So it like made it seem like it's not just like a cow or like a car or something, and there's no plane there. So like, how the hell would you get it out?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of cows break trees and burn things.
I mean,
That's
and
why I don't
burn
have
it.
Yeah.
It had one really nasty Taco Bell.
But for like a really long time, even though there was this memo like saying like it was aliens, basically, people still were like, oh, the U.S. government was like, no, it's not. It's not aliens. Don't look here. It's not.
Yeah.
And then, but a couple days later, on the 30th, I think, they had, it was the 26th and the 28th. The 28th, they went back out there and they took radiation readings, and the radiation readings were double of what just like what there is normally where the ship landed.
So they were using some kind of nuclear power source?
That's the thought, yeah. And that's where a lot of people are like, this is like, if that was 2 days later, and it was still double, so what if they had taken it the day of?
Depends on the half-life, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would depend on that. But that's the people start getting down deep into a rabbit hole of like what happened and what type of radiation, or why it would be this or that.
I was reading a paper about warp drives the other day. I guess some hotshot undergrad thinks that warp drives are real, right? Of course it's a fucking undergrad. Idiots. We're all dumb.
Nerds.
But they said it would take an extraordinary amount of power, right, to make this happen. And I'm wondering if fusion energy isn't the key to that. Because we have fission reactors, but the fusion reactors such as ITER, the big project in France right now, that is the future. I mean...
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know much about nuclear energy. I just know that plant they're trying to open up in, I think, 2030 or 2025, somewhere in the near future, to start fusion research to try to get like more fusion plants to start powering the Earth instead of using coal. But
do you think we'll ever see deep space travel within our lifetime?
I think we will, yeah. I mean, it'll at least be deep Milky Way. Because right now, NASA's actually contracting 3 companies to start building kind of like a lunar base kind of thing, like a lunar lander for their next Apollo mission.
Mm-hmm.
So
you get old Elon Musk on the horn.
SpaceX is one of the companies.
Oh, I know it.
I forget the other 2.
He's a fucking alien.
Maybe that was him in the sphere. When was Musk born?
It might have been.
I don't know. But at this point, before I go into what people's like skepticism analysis of this, what do you guys think?
What do you think it's along the lines of whether we believe the American hero Tom DeLonge? Because that's a yes, I do.
Do you believe that they actually saw what they think they saw?
I mean, what else would it be?
I'm not sure, but I have some theories that people have floated out there.
Well, before you get into the theories, I wouldn't take Tom DeLonge as a liar. I believe he thinks he saw at least something. But then again, there's so much stuff that the government's not telling us, and weaponry and vehicles, and who knows what exactly. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying there's a lot of shit out there that we as a population, as a general population, do not know about. You know what I mean?
True.
The U.S. Army and any army, really, the government could have technology 20 years advanced to what we actually know of. You know what I mean? But who the hell knows what?
I mean,
where did you see that at?
My grandpa
the
supposedly
wackiest.
Where?
The wackiest.
Wackiest theory is that it was just a hoax, and that a former U.S. security policeman created strange lights in the forest by driving around in a police car whose lights had been modified and then left. That's one theory that they floated out there.
Why would they ever?
But there's no evidence to support it. on the nights in question, at least. I guess this guy did it, but he didn't do it on the nights in question.
What the fuck? Why?
I don't know.
I mean, you work as a cop in some hill fuck town with nothing to do. You get bored and want to fuck with people.
Facts.
Other explanations are that it was like a downed Soviet spy satellite, and that the government essentially covered it up because
that's what I'm
they
saying.
didn't want them to know they had it.
I'm more along the lines of it's man-made, it's human that we just don't know about as a general population. Something that the fucking Russians or Chinese or U.S. or whoever made this weird new plane or satellite or whatever the hell it is, and that's what they saw. Again, I didn't see the actual video, so I really can't say for sure. But like, do you actually get to see the thing in the video? Did they actually show it?
The videos?
Just like a little round thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, their cameras look like they're from fucking 80s. I honestly would have thought they would have had way better cameras.
There's never good quality when it comes to any of this stuff.
No.
Oh, no.
I don't get it.
It's like Bigfoot and shit. All the time you see those, it's like a blur on there and then vaguely outlined.
Okay, I'm looking at the picture of it now. That black and white picture, is that it?
Yeah.
It's kind of black and white.
Released.
Yeah, who the hell knows what that is, man?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Could just be an asteroid passing by.
Not just an asteroid.
I mean, Josh, to your point, so my grandpa like supposedly inspected Area 51 for their fire hazards, right?
Really?
Yeah, so that was his job in the Air Force. But he will never tell what he saw. And he said when they went out there, they had to pick him up from a nearby town in a white van and drive him out and drop him back off in the same van. So he wasn't allowed to like take anything of his in there. Super hush stuff.
So how long ago did he work there?
Oh, Jesus.
Probably 30, 40 plus years?
Yeah, it's probably at least 30 years.
So what do you think's stopping him from just mentioning something? Do you think like the government has
it's a sense of honor, man.
Honor?
I mean,
I guess
this generation, they grew up with the wars.
It's going to be a sense of honor and a sense of I want to protect my family. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I would say they're threatening his family.
Yeah, you would think like, listen, we're going to you on the rest of your life. If you don't think we're not going to know what you say, you're wrong. Then they show a picture of sweet baby David. Like, you want something to happen to this sweet little baby boy?
Yeah, that stuff. I've always found that like crazy interesting. I've even seen pictures of like there's an Alaskan base that's super camouflaged, and he has a picture of it from like an old military magazine, and he lived up there. But like some of the stuff we never even know about. I don't know.
Oh no, never. Most of the stuff I'd say we're never going to know about.
Well, unfortunately, countries don't last forever.
Except for the old red, white, and blue.
USA.
I mean, honestly, coronavirus probably came from aliens, and they came down here and gave it to us.
Do you think it was an alien bat that guy bit?
Oh my goodness, it could be.
Alien.
Somebody
An
ate
alien
an alien.
ate a bat, and then threw the other bat, touched it.
Yeah, it was probably an alien that morphed into a bat, was flying around trying to be camouflaged, and some,
what if it was an
guy decided he was hungry and bit the head off of it.
What if it was an alien vampire bat?
Oh,
Just heard like an alien
crazy.
vampire.
Where are all the alien werewolves?
Yeah, the alien vampire bat, the guy bit into it, but the bat bit back, therefore injecting alien serum into him, giving us COVID-19.
Excuse me, I got to adjust my tinfoil hat real quick.
Sounds like you guys are writing the next greatest screenplay.
So have you seen the pictures of the so-called like COVID toes, where they like your feet start turning red, and it's one of the weird symptoms of it? Maybe those people are turning into aliens.
Oh.
Huh.
And all the people that die, they're not ready to accept the alien DNA.
They're just like in a cocoon state right at the moment.
Their bodies are just rejecting it. Yeah.
Like under the ground, like their bodies just cocooning in their caskets.
Maybe this is how that alien race takes over other people, other races.
Elon
Turn
Musk
them
planted the
into
virus.
them.
After Elon Musk killed Kobe Bryant, the last protector of Earth, he then went on to plant the COVID virus.
Wow.
Wow, man, we're figuring it out.
Somebody write this down. This is a book.
We've connected all the dots.
I think we're dying within like the next hour. Like,
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's a
somebody's
sniper in
gonna
the back
knock
of my
on
head
our door.
right now.
That's good. I have enough Hennessy in here to get me through that.
Let me ask you guys a question. Who is your favorite alien?
I like the LGMs on Toy Story. Honestly.
I gotta say, mine's the West Virginia own Flatwoods Monster.
That's an alien?
Technically, yeah, they say it's an alien.
I thought it was just a fucking like
And-
swamp monster or something. Like the
Yeah, the
Loch Ness monster.
Flatwood. So the Flatwoods Monster, like bunch of what county is that in? I'll try to get
Brexton, I don't know.
maybe. But yeah, back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, somewhere a long time ago.
Brexton.
Bunch of kids saw a bunch of lights in the woods. They went out, like 4 or 5, and then their mom went out, and then they saw a bunch of lights, and they saw this figure. Then like this mist or something started burning their eyes and their skin, and they got all deformed. And they ran away.
I missed. That was a good movie.
It was the story of the Flatwoods Monster.
I was more thinking
I
about
don't
the Mothman.
Gay.
Mothman is our protector.
Does he fight
Mothman
the
would never do
Flatwoods
anything.
monster?
Who won in the fight between Mothman and Flatwoods Monster?
Ooh.
I don't know what the Flatwood monster does.
He kind of has gas and just burns people. With,
Mothman just destroys bridges. I'm more of a Mike Wagowski kind of fan.
That
from
thing back where
Monsters,
it
Inc.?
came from.
Yeah,
So help
Monsters,
me.
Inc.
he's not an alien. He's a monster.
He's definitely an alien. He has one eye.
No.
He's got one eye.
What do you think? You think a guy who lost his eye in a war is now an alien or something?
Do you not? He's like he's not human anymore.
Not
He's
holy.
definitely a Cyclops.
I mean, where'd all the ancient civilizations get their ideas for monsters?
From fucking aliens, man.
That's a good question.
If you've ever
Probably because
watched-
they watched the aliens build pyramids. That's probably how they figured out. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Please, the aliens
monsters.
didn't build them. They enslaved the human race.
maybe those. Yeah, I mean, wait, you did mention triangles on the ground, right, Nick?
I did.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
see, let's connect
Pyramids.
them.
It's all back.
Connect those dots.
We're really figuring this out. Thank you, Tom.
We'll have jobs if we keep it up.
Wait,
Do you think Blink-182 will hire me for the leads? I'm sure Tom DeLonge's be dead here before too long for leaking this.
Only if
I
you're
will
like,
figure a lot out
willing
though. So
to- Only if you're willing to go full nude in a video, because
Oh
that's-
fuck!
I've
I'm
already
trying
done
to do
that.
right now.
give me $100 and I'll do it.
I mean, the
What
audience
else
is
would you
real
do for
disappointed.
$100?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Kind of.
free rim job.
Yeah, this is a G-rated podcast. Let's keep it up.
All right, Nick. What's the next thing?
Bunch of fucking.
All right. The next one, we go to lovely old Russia.
Oh, no.
The motherland.
And it's called the Dilatov Pass Incident. Have you ever heard of it before or no?
No. The only one I've heard of is
Okay.
Roswell.
I mean, there's so many, but these are ones that I have heard of before and I think are interesting. But so this was in, I can't remember the year, but 1960s, I think, is when this was. And so there was a professor named Igor Dilatov. And,
That's an alien. You say e-board?
and
Is
his,
that what you said?
what?
What did you say his name was?
Igor Dilatov?
Yeah, that's a fucking alien. So is Elon. They're aliens. That is no doubt in my mind.
E stands for alien.
Exactly.
Alien.
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 Ellen the alien. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
Anyways, so they set out in February to go on this trek, 300-kilometer trek from like one place to another. I don't remember I can't pronounce the towns, but so there's 10 of them to begin with. One of them had turned back before like the incident actually happened, but the other 9 pressed on, and then they decided to, set up their tent for the night but they set it up, which is kind of weird because they're all like experienced hikers and they like should know better. But they set up their tent like on the side of a hill with no cover or like anything to like shelter them from the snow because it's like the middle of the winter in the middle of Russia. And it's like negative 40.
Russian winter, trust me, it never works.
Yeah, ask Hitler. He said, fuck it. I'll invade Russia in the snowy winters.
I told him not to.
Damn it.
Panzers couldn't handle the snow.
Napoleon should have told him.
Oh, silly Hitler.
Anyways, they were supposed to arrive on February 12th, and it was February 20th when a search party was finally like sent out to see what was going on. When they showed up, they found tents like covered in snow and strewn all their belongings all over the mountain, and they found that the tent was actually like intact, and it was actually cut open with a knife from the inside, and that there were 8 to 9 sets of footprints of people that were either barefoot or only wearing socks.
Wendigos.
And this is the middle of Russia in the winter again. So they go and they look more, and they find down the hill, they find 2 bodies next to a fire in their underwear with no clothing or shoes. And they later found 3 more bodies that looked as if they were trying to return to the tent and then froze to death in the process. And the other 4 weren't found for 2 months due to the snow, and they were all completely dressed.
I have heard of that, actually.
And there was no, like, explanation. It just didn't make any sense. It was all the opposite things that experienced hikers would do. And of course, in Russia fashion, they denied everything that, would be, that it could be something like not just human. So, but there were like peculiarities to it that at the end of it, they said that 6 of them died from hypothermia because they were basically naked.
Right.
But the other 3 had fatal wounds and major skull and chest fractures equal to the force of being hit by a car. But they had no external wounds at all.
Damn.
So what you're saying is an alien spaceship did a drive-by.
I have no idea what I'm saying. Nobody knows what happened out there.
That's exactly what happened.
An alien leaned out the window with a red handkerchief in his mouth. Check yourself, fool!
The green alien gang rolled up on him and said, not today, Russia.
You know what I think it was? You had the you had the alien version of us, right? We're all flying around in our ship, zip-zopping around. We all have super strength, and the beer cans are made out of super heavy metal. And we just tossed the beer cans out the window and accidentally, chucked it and hit those people.
Oh, so the alien version of us are litterers. That's good. I'm glad to know that.
No.
Aren't humans giant litterers, though? Isn't there like an island out in the ocean that just trash?
I've never once littered in my entire life.
Oh,
No,
BS.
Not true.
I had to pick up after you today.
I've never once littered.
Just making sure.
All right, we got to call the cops on Blake. They got to give him that $500 fine for littering.
It was in Ohio, too.
Oh, no.
That's Ohio. It's just trash to begin with. So.
Got him.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I live here sometimes. 3 months a year.
But on top of it, one of the bodies also had really, really high levels of radiation. They don't know why.
That was an
So-
anal probe?
What?
Anal probe.
It's not a probe if you like it.
It's still a probe.
He must probe on the
But-
first date.
Netflix and probe. So what is the
Netflix
Russian
and
government? Are they just like playing this off as like a mass suicide or something? Like what is?
There's some theories, but the Russian government for like 30 years would not talk about it, not release any information about it, nothing. And if you were to write anything about it, you would be under threat of death. Like
Sounds
you
about
weren't allowed
Russia.
to do.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't allowed to say anything and do anything that wasn't what the government was saying, in which it was just natural causes in which they went nuts and died out there. And that was it. But, of course, a lot of other people have a lot of different theories of what happened.
Sure.
But they investigated it, at the time, and they ended up coming to the conclusion that these possibilities. So, number one is that it was an avalanche, and that where they were sitting, basically where they were at, was prone to it. They could have died from an avalanche rather easily. So they
Well, I
would
mean-
basically wake up, and realize it's coming, and they sprint down the hill with no clothes on, and that's it.
But you even
They
said
said
though that the tents were still all intact.
They said most of they were intact, yeah. So it was like that wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Right.
Makes zero sense.
But
Tell us, Vladimir, what's going on?
and then there's a lot of other people have said that a Yeti caused it, and then they like ran down the hill.
Ooh, I like that.
So
I could see it.
I like that one a lot.
But again, there was no physical damage to him. You think a Yeti would beat somebody to death and destroy tents?
No, he has a razor.
Yeah.
That's how he cut the tent open.
But it still doesn't make sense why there would be no external injuries if they had these fatal
Exactly.
wounds.
He just punched him.
But
It
you
would
would
still
like,
be like a giant bruise and obvious broken ribs or something.
I mean, there would be too if there was an avalanche.
Exactly. I don't believe the avalanche. I think I'm more on the Yeti theory than the avalanche theory.
there's another one, and it's called katabatic wind.
Okay.
Mm.
Curious.
And a katabatic wind is very rare and can be very violent, extremely violent. And it was implicated in a different thing where 8 hikers were killed after one of them. The wind, I guess it's just like a sudden, really, 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 really fast wind that just basically lifts you up and slams you down somehow.
Kind
I
of
don't
like
exactly understand
spaceship
it, but
taking
So a
off?
tornado. We made it.
Maybe it was the wind.
They
But it was
probed the
caused
one guy
by
with the
aliens.
radiation, took off, and just killed everybody else on accident.
And there's, I mean, I have a bunch of them, but the next one is infrasound, which is, I am not exactly sure what it is, but it says infrasound is capable of inducing panic attacks in humans. And that if the infrasound generated by wind as it passed over the top of the mountain was responsible for causing physical discomfort and mental distress. And that led to panic, and then that's when they ran down the hill. And then the traumatic injuries, they say, were suffered by the others stumbling over a ledge of a ravine.
So why don't they have any
But then it all
bruises?
comes back to why was that tent still there?
Exactly. You think you wake up and it's sweat, you're jumping around in that tent, you're knocking some shit over.
Yeah.
And probably not the whole tent over. I don't know, man.
They're Russian. They're probably instinctively waking up with a knife in hand, cutting it open, making a run for it.
Oh,
It makes
off the
sense.
fucking vodka.
Yeah.
I feel like these next two are probably the most accurate. So the next one is military test, in which speculation is that the campsite was near Soviet parachute mine exercises, and it alleges that hikers would be woken by the loud explosion. They would run out, in a panic, and then end up dying, and that'd be that. And I feel like that goes back again to like what you're saying. The government might be out there testing something, and they were just so happened to be out there.
Oh, yeah. Or they were meant to be out there and get tested on. The
Who
government did
knows?
something
I mean,
to
it
them,
makes
put
it-
something in their water, who knows?
Probed them.
And it
Probed them?
just,
Yeah, very likely.
Blake keeps coming back to this probe thing.
I think
Hey,
he wants to
I'm
be
getting
probed.
excited.
I'm
Sorry.
sitting right next to him, too. I'm not all about this probing stuff no more.
I'm about to start stripping clothing.
Move that pole away.
But the thing I think is probably the most, it doesn't make sense for everything, but at least for the people who were naked, it makes sense to them. So it's called paradoxical undressing. And so it's caused by when you become very hyperthermic and you finally get to the point where your body
You think
temperature
you're warm.
lowers enough where you start feeling really, really hot. And so then they just start taking their clothes off. And so then a lot of the time it happens in these types of cases where those people get really, really hot and then they'll literally take off their clothes and run outside into the snow because they're so cold. So they thought they'd cooled down and then they died because they were hypothermic.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense for the other people because those people who died from like the injuries, they had taken the clothes off of the people who died that were naked, what little clothes they had on, to try and add more layers to what they had. So they wouldn't be of sound enough mind to do that if that was the case. It just doesn't make sense of why those were, they had those injuries but no external injuries.
What? Wait,
I guess we'll pause.
Can you go over what kind of internal injuries again?
So the ones that were found months later were the ones that were had the major damage. So they had fatal injuries. One had major skull damage, and the other two had major chest fractures. Force required to do it would be extremely high. And the bodies had no external wounds associated with the bone fractures, as if they had been subjected to a high level of pressure.
I've got a theory. You ready for this?
Let's hear
Sound
it.
waves. What if somebody blasted them with such a frequency, the same frequency as their bones, that they shattered them, like the opera singers in Glass?
Maybe.
But they could direct the weapon, which is why not all the bones were shattered. See, that could be a government test or aliens.
Maybe it's a mixture,
The
you had the people doing.
They're the same.
You had the people doing the paradoxical undressing. They run out because they think they're hot. So then the other people go out to try and save them. Then they use the other three as, the test dummies and just do that, shatter their bones and shit.
Maybe the hikers did set up their tent properly, but somebody else, when they were sleeping, unset it up to force them to be cold.
It's just an interesting thing that really has never been. There's never been a definitive thing of what happened.
I don't think we'll ever will know either.
No, not with the Russian government.
It's about as transparent as mud.
It's not very transparent.
What do you mean?
I've never once been able to see through mud.
So you don't have the right superpowers?
I
mean,
so
Hayden's
mud
Grassman, so...
Okay.
That's a superpower.
That's all I got. So whoever's got a side topic, you can go ahead.
So, I got something. Speaking of aliens, America's local alien, Elon Musk, is off his fucking rocker right now. As of yesterday, May 1st, according to his Twitter page, he is tweeting things like, "I am selling almost all my physical possessions, will own no house." He goes on to say, "Just one stipulation on sale. I own Gene Wilder's old house. It cannot be torn down or lose any of its soul." He then proceeded to tweet out in different tweets the entire Star Spangled Banner song with a then quote says, "Now give people back their freedom." Then he says something about his Tesla stock being too high, IMO. I'm not real sure what's going on with Elon, but he's off his fucking rocker.
Is that all May 1st?
All May 1st.
He sounds pretty drunk, not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it on, we're all, humans and we're gonna drink occasionally.
I just like how he had to point out that he owns former Willy Wonka's house, Gene Wilder.
Humble brag.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, my Tesla stock's too high, whatever. He's also a fucking alien.
Yeah, I heard some stuff about Elon saying he was in basically a production meeting about the new trucks or whatever, and that he just went on a huge rant about how this is a police state and all that stuff. We need to free Americans again because he wanted his truck to be able to be produced.
Yeah, he's not having something, I'll tell you that.
Well, I think he's flirting with being one of the richest men in the world, right? So I think that's part of it.
I don't think he's even close to Bezos or Gates.
Oh, really? I
True.
thought that he would bumped up when his stock went through the roof there a while back.
I mean, he's definitely bumped up, but I still don't think he's on like their level. He's like A tier, they're S tier.
They become before
That's where he
X, you
wants to
idiot.
be.
Yeah, I'm confused. I
S
thought
stands for
you know,
like
A,
superior,
B,
right?
C, D,
Yeah.
E, F, G.
You guys don't understand me. I quit.
No,
I'm
I
leaving.
don't speak alien. Sorry.
I don't know, guys. Isn't looking good. Page.
Not looking
Whatever.
good for you. It's looking good for me.
Mark is like, he's not even in the top 25.
Facebook. What's his face? Top 10.
He's number 6.
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
Good.
He's pretty rich.
Zuckerberg. He's number 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
77.7 billion. But yeah, Elon's not even top 25.
I had a question. How is he? If he has no house, how is he gonna? What color is he gonna? He can't like paint the bedroom of his gender neutral child anything, you know?
I mean, what would
What's he
you
gonna
paint a
do?
room for a gender neutral child? Just white? I
Yellow.
don't have to tell you, man. Yellow.
Yellow's a gender neutral color.
I think he's very obnoxious yellow too, like mustard stain yellow.
I was gonna say like a muted yellow, you know.
Oh, good on Elon. At least we really got fucks. That guy fucks.
He's
Congrats
the
on the sack, Elon.
31st richest.
Okay.
$24.6 billion.
He's up there.
I'm almost there.
Okay. Honestly, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, if you remove
Yeah,
the B,
for
I
being a
have
fucking Martian.
$24.6.
So you're telling me he's been able to make all this stuff without being the top 25 richest?
Mhm.
Alien. Bottom line. He's an alien.
Honestly, if he didn't like shit like flamethrowers, he might have that.
He sold those
What do
flamethrowers.
you mean?
He made a profit.
He's
off
got
those.
like the bowl. He just like makes these weird things and then sells.
Makes him. I mean, there's a reason
I mean,
he's
if
a
he would-
billionaire and we're not.
Yeah, you got a point.
So I can buy a Musk flamethrower for $3,600 on eBay.
Damn.
That looks like a piece of paper that's drawn on. So I'm going to say you're getting
Yeah,
free.
it's a box, isn't it?
Yeah,
that
it kind of
should be
looks like a box.
That's
Sure.
a box.
It looks like it, yeah.
Get a
See
can.
the edge? That's a box.
Listen, Dylan can draw.
Get
Hey,
a can of hairspray, put
Shut
aside, and get a light.
And it blows up.
out. Artist Dylan Stansberry for our logo, by the way.
He's probably an alien stuff. I mean,
Blake, I
See
think
it.
you're an
mission compromised.
I'm
Sorry.
too fucking boring.
Josh is about to be probed. So,
Third time today.
alien.
all right. So, social media trend that's been going on is aliens, obviously. But
No.
which one of your? I know Nick has TikTok. I have TikTok. I'm gonna guess David definitely doesn't have TikTok, and Josh doesn't. So on your guys' Instagram and TikToks, what color aliens have you guys seen running around? Green or purple?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I have not
Just
seen
answer the
any
question.
alien. I haven't seen any alien.
Well, there's a purple
Look at my
hand
Instagram
on my
right now.
screen right now, so I'm gonna go purple.
I'm gonna go to Instagram right now and prove I have not seen any fucking aliens.
Okay,
I
well,
see green all the time.
green. Are like GTA green? Like they're in GTA.
GTA
they're
green,
being-
yeah, that's the ones I
Yeah,
see. all the
okay.
time.
Where's he supposed to be? Where's the alien supposed to be?
Okay, well, on like if you on your Instagram social media feeds, if you see green aliens that from GTA running around, you're associated with the green alien gang. And
Gag?
if you see purple aliens, gang. You only see one or the other. I always see the purple aliens running around, and I didn't know this was a thing until I was talking to a couple buddies the other day. So apparently on GTA now there is a green alien gang and a purple alien gang, and they just run around and beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
I did
that's
see
it.
that.
I saw.
What
What?
the
You have
fuck
seen
are
it?
You guys?
Yeah, I've seen that.
What color?
I
What
saw
colors you
both
seen?
of them.
Oh,
Well,
broke
you
the
see,
theory.
Well, no, they
Oh,
were
I
watching.
see a fucking alien.
I was watching a
Yeah.
video of them like
You
fighting
gotta look
each
it up,
other.
it's cheating.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Well, I've recently also seen like they're coming out with more and more. There's a blue alien gang now, and the Men in Black are getting into
There's
this.
a green alien, I guess. Does that count? Okay, you guys are dumb.
You're
Okay, you
dumb.
can't just look up an alien and be part of that.
I
Well,
didn't
you're just
look
not
it
good
up.
enough to be a part of
You
it.
type in green alien, obviously want to see green aliens.
I didn't look it up. It just came up.
Well, Blake
Yeah,
just did. He
It
typed
was
in.
popping up in all my gaming feeds that I follow.
Yeah. I just see
I-
it on Instagram, like just the green aliens get out and they just beat the shit out of a group of people and get back in
a
their
group
car.
of people, purple aliens. It's great. Bottom line, if I would have to choose a gang, I am 100% going to be purple alien gang.
Guess I'm against you. I'm a gag. You're a pag.
I guess I'm a guy.
You're a gag. David, you gotta go purple alien gang? I mean, you be minority and go ahead with blue alien and men in black.
No. We're going purple. Purple's the coolest
That's what I'm
color.
talking about. I
Pag.
thought I knew David would join.
Purple's the coolest color. That's a hot take.
You
Dude, it's the
pags.
color of royalty. It used to be the
That
hardest dye
Color
to make.
royal.
Well, green's the color of money.
Green's the color of fuck you.
We big ballers, bitch.
No,
Yeah.
green's just the color of the Great Gatsby's light.
I don't get that reference.
Deep cut.
All I gotta say, what's the coolest lightsaber in Star Wars? Purple. Purple.
Wait. Are you
I'm gonna go ahead and
talking
answer.
Well, let me push my
Books?
glasses up.
or movies?
No, I'm just talking movies. I don't know the books.
Like,
Actually, gold is the coolest. Thank you very much.
No, it's not real.
It is
Ray
real.
has
Oh,
one.
thanks for playing.
Ray has
Yeah,
a gold.
it
It's
is.
not real.
Yeah.
The
Nope.
purple lightsaber is for Jedi who use a lot of dark side tendencies, which is why they're so rare. Only Mace Windu can use it.
Not anymore. He's
You're welcome.
dead.
Yeah.
Whatever, all right.
I had a
Spoiler
purple
alert, by the
lightsaber
way.
in the game.
Well,
David,
boys
you're
and
up.
girls, that's all I got. You guys got anything else before we head into David's question? I don't have
I was gonna say, what about David's question? I have a little riddle.
Oh God, I suck at these.
a riddle. Why do you always do
Riddle me.
riddles?
Last time I answered my mom.
All right, so my only one that has one.
I'll get one. Just go ahead.
All right, David. Riddle me this, Mr. Magda. What does a dog do that a man steps into? Do do.
Is that a trick? Am I just supposed to say poop?
Ha! Gotcha. No, it's pants. Because a dog pants, men step in pants.
Gotcha, bitch.
Wait, you guys step in your pants? I put mine over my head.
Oh,
What the
He's a lot
fuck?
smarter than
Sliding
us.
down.
Yeah,
and I'm the alien.
you go in at one leg, right? And you're like swimming up the leg. And then you have the whole leg over you. So then you pick up your other leg and then you put it in, right? Do I need to draw a diagram?
Why are you so flexible?
Yeah, you have a future.
I
Build
just
this
buy big
podcast
pants.
was. Fair enough. Yes.
Well, I got one. I got a few. I'm just gonna go rapid fire. You're gonna hate them, and we're just gonna do it. Okay. First
I
one.
love it.
First one is a political commentary. So, what's greater than God, more evil than the devil? Rich people want it, poor people have it, and if you eat it, you'll die.
What?
Can you repeat that? Money. The
What's
answer's
greater
money.
than God? Nothing. Actually, is the answer.
Oh.
Nothing is the answer.
Oh.
that was
So
a big
what will you
range.
actually find at the end of every rainbow?
Rainbows are circular. That's a trick question.
Bitch.
The letter W.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
go fuck yourself. Everything you stand for.
I saw a double rainbow the other day. It's pretty dope.
Double rainbow.
Had a lot of magic.
All right, I'll end with a riddle, just like Blake.
Oh God.
So I start out tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I grow. What am I?
Shadow.
Penis.
Candle.
Candle.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, this guy
I
is
suck,
fired.
dude. I'm
from
so
the
bad
Central
at these.
Aw. I mean, I got like 40 more if you want me to keep going.
Absolutely not. We've already been canceled.
Well, That's it. I think that's all we got for Essentially Nonsense. Who wants to take us out?
Hey,
Plug.
follow us on Twitter at essentiallynon1, because apparently essentially nonsense is too long for Twitter. So essentiallynon1. There you can see our stupid opinions about stupid things. And Elon Musk, who we always retweet. We want to thank you all for listening to our podcast, our very, very, very stupid podcast. And I hope you all drive safe.
Auf Wiedersehen.
I think it's how you say bye in alien. Not sure.